Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new preseason or season 6 video. So if you've been following whatsoever, you know that there have been quite a lot of announcements that have been released for the current preseason and moving into, of course, season 6 itself. And one of the bigger changes definitely has been the new items introduced, and on top of that, the old items that have been reworked. So I thought it'll be fun to do a top 5 list of just the items that I'm personally very excited for and that I think will be the strongest. Keep in mind, this list will be including the new items and the old items that have been reworked. And quick shoutouts to GamingCurios for giving me this idea. So let's not waste any more time and go right into the number 5 spot. So the number 5 spot is going to be the only somewhat exception in this video, because I'm clearly going to be mentioning 2 different items. However, the purpose as to why I'm mentioning even one of these is the exact same. So the thing that I'm really excited about with this change, and also what I think is going to be very strong about this, is the fact that now the jungle item and even the support items have a built-in ward system within the item itself. This is quite fantastic, I think, especially for the support champions that don't have to simply go ahead and build the Sightstone and also their support items. So for instance, Targon's of course therefore taking up 2 spots rather than 1 with the new introduced item change. So I think a lot of support players and jungle players are going to be very happy with this change because it will make their role just simply much easier. And I really think that this was a very smart change by Riot. Now, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of other things to mention about this specific item change or these new items overall, so we'll leave it as is in the number 5 spot. But as we move into the number 4 spot, we're going to be switching the pace up just a little bit. Here's an item that I'm personally very excited about. Not only is this item now cheaper, but it also seems to fit a lot more than just a simple AD carry. At the very moment, you don't see many non-AD carry champions building Phantom Dancer because there's just better options. But now that this item has that new unique passive where the last champion hit deals 12% less damage to you, makes this very tempting to buy on split pushing and dueling type champions. So naturally, the first thing that comes to my mind is that Zed split pushing bot lane with this item, and it's going to be so difficult to 1v1 him just because of that passive. And when you later combine it with another item I'll be talking about later on in this video, well, the combination can be quite deadly. I mean, sure, yeah, the attack speed has been lowered, the crit chance has been lowered, and it doesn't give you the guaranteed 24/7 5% increased move speed. But when the move speed passive does activate, it's a whopping 12%, and of course that new passive that I just finished talking about. The only complaint that I have with this item at this very moment is the fact that it requires one too many daggers to finish it off. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a huge fan of having to build pretty much 3 daggers in order to finish off Phantom Dancer. So hopefully they change that around just a little bit, but overall, an item that I'm personally very excited about to start building on my assassin split pushers. But jumping to the number 3 spot is going to be another item I'm very excited about simply because of how often I will probably be building it on my champions. So now the biggest thing to notice is the fact that yeah, it does cost you a whole extra 500 gold. But quite honestly, what you're getting from this item is absolutely worth it. First off, you don't have that annoying brutalizer that only builds into one option for AD assassins. Now you have 2 items that can build into the Youmuus, and 2 of these items can also build into other items as well. And both of the 2 new items that build into Youmuu separately are also very strong in the laning phase, while getting the crit glove in the laning phase isn't gonna be all that good. Unless you're the luckiest person alive and you happen to crit pretty much every single auto attack. So with that being said, the new Youmuus no longer gives you that crit chance, but now instead it gives you 35 extra AD. Now trust me when I say this, this is a very worthwhile trade-off. Youmuus has always been an early to mid game type item. You would almost never get Youmuus late into the game because there's just so many better options. And critical strike chance just happens to be a mid to late game type stat. So what you're getting from the new Youmuu simply just works much better for this item, especially considering the time of the game that you'll most likely be getting this item. I've played several games testing out the new Youmuus on the PBE, and I have to say the damage spike you get from this item when you get it as your first or second item is absolutely massive. So if you're an AD assassin type player or you enjoy playing AD type champions, this is definitely an item you should be excited for. And now as we move into the number 2 spot, here's gonna be another new item just recently introduced into League of Legends. Death's Dance is another AD type item that you want to build that Riot lists as a defensive type AD item. Now I truly feel that this is gonna be a very good example of an item that Riot's intent was to make it a defensive choice, but everyone is gonna be building it whether it's for a defensive or offensive purpose because of just how overall strong the item is. The build path for this item is absolutely fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's 3,400 gold, a little bit on the expensive side, but again, the build path is so good. You still get 65 attack damage, which is pretty fair. You get 10% CDR, pretty decent as well. But the coolest thing about this item is the fact that dealing physical damage will heal you for 12% of the damage dealt. Now don't forget, this is not lifesteal. This is not just your auto attacks. This is all physical damage, so whether it's abilities or auto attacks. So for example, think about how much life back you'll get whenever your Zed ultimate pops on a target, because that is single target damage. But another great thing about this item is that it effectively makes you tankier because 12% of damage taken is dealt as a bleed effect over 3 seconds instead, so it makes you somewhat less prone to burst. And this is the item I was talking about earlier that I think combined with Phantom Dancer on a split pushing type assassin champion can be very, very deadly. Because not only are you taking less damage, whether it's just flat out less damage or effectively taking less damage thanks to the bleed over 3 seconds effects, but you also heal for 12% of all physical damage dealt. So again, another item I'm very excited about, and I feel like you should be as well, well deserving of the number 2 spot. And the number 1 spot has to, without question, be given to Essence Reaver. So here's an item I might sometimes even build on champions like Talon. But oh boy is this item fantastic on ADCs. So the reason I have to give the number 1 spot to the new Essence Reaver is not only does this item just simply have amazing stats, but I'm pretty sure Riot just took an item that almost no one ever bought ever, and if you did you're considered a troll, to an item that I think now will be absolutely core. This is gonna be the new Infinity Edge, or at least just as equally as strong, if not stronger. So for an extra cost of 400 gold, not only do you get a better build path, but you also now get a huge amount of 20% critical strike at the expense of 15 AD and 10% lifesteal. I think that trade-off is honestly more than okay, because you still maintain that 10% CDR, you still have the passive that gives you mana based on some sort of effect, but a very huge component as to why I think this item now is just so strong is the new unique passive that it has. Gain up to plus 20% CDR equal to your critical strike chance from other sources. So the fact that this item can give you 20% CDR, 65 AD, which now is actually considered to be a very good amount of AD based on the other items and what they offer, 20% CDR, you still get the mana regeneration passive, and you also have a very good build path. This item is just simply packed with goodness and is just so much win. I'm calling it now, this is going to be an absolutely core item on almost every single AD carry and probably a lot of AD champions like maybe Talon. But that is it for this video, guys. Those are my top 5 items that I'm personally excited for, and also items that I think will be very strong. If you enjoyed this list or this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button because it helps me quite a bit, and subscribe if you haven't, and check out the other videos as well. And you can also let me know down below in the comments what you think the top 5 items that you're most excited for are. I'll be releasing a Season 6 Builds Zed video tomorrow because a lot of people have been requesting that. But I thank each and every one of you for watching, and I hope to see you for the next one. Peace.